Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week of Lord Z's Fantastical Dungeon. I'm Lord Z, your wonderful, humble host. And yeah, we'll just kick it right off with introductions. Godric, go ahead.
Hi everyone, I'm Godric. I'm Mike. I play Godric. Let's put it that way. I play Goliath Cleric. Um, I'm out to vanquish the evils of the world and hopefully keep my party going, so they can help me along the way.
Alrighty, and Pam.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pam. I am playing Holly. I am a half elf sorcerer and just trying to get by, fight evil items that we might come across, or banish them if I could, or light them up on fire if we have to. And at the same time, trying to keep the group together and alive and popping. So we'll see what we have this week.
All right, and Eric.
Hi, I'm Eric. I'm playing Willie, the reformed pirate barbarian. I was a little disappointed last week. I had my meal taken from me at the most inopportune time. So hopefully, this week I'll get to eat something good, and that's it. Yeah.
All right, Fitz, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing the Azamar Paladin Fit Chivalry. I am just kind of lost, searching for a way home, and riding about on my unicorn Sir Fluffy Butts.
Sir Fluffy Butts, that's right. And last but not least, Yindris.
Hi, I'm Max. I play Yindris Nightclaw, the Dragonborn fighter. I'm on a journey to find the people who murdered my family.
Alrighty. Sounds good. So we last left off. You guys, Pam came out of left field with a banishment spell and got rid of the wonderful Were Spider Queen for y'all. And Trevor decided the abandoned ship in the cave system there was going to be his new home. So he decided to go ahead and merge with this ship to make it a living ship. Pam figured out how to spell jam. She got a crash course and was able to maneuver and get you guys all back to the Rock of Bral safely. If I remember correctly, you had just landed in port, paid the porter a week's worth of docking fees, and take it from there.
For some reason, all my markers on the bottom have disappeared, which I was using for the maps, and
My apologies.
I can't seem to pull it up.
I
Appreciate it.
can
Thank you.
share that to you. Max, let me know when you get loaded in, and I will reshare it so you can get it there.
Okay. Well, we're at the docks. What time of day are we looking at here? Are we morning, midday, evening?
Afternoon, best you can tell.
Okay. So, was it the Mages Guild Hall, or was it the temple that we were at?
What are you trying to do?
The person we were supposed to speak to
Bishop
in regards to
Formand.
getting that favor.
Yeah, Bishop Formand. He is at the temple.
Well, I think midday. We should have enough time to get over to the temple and at least announce our arrival. I remember it took some time to get an audience, so at least announce our arrival and see if we can get in or set up a time to see if our work was enough to get us that way home.
Okay. At the end of last week, you had mentioned something else you wanted to take care of in regards to your inventory. Just soft reminder in case you forgot.
No, I did not. But I was waiting until
Okay.
a more non-pressing time.
Yep, not a problem. Before we go anywhere, Sir Fitz, what is going on with Sir Fluffy Butt?
Can I just ride him around?
Yeah, you're more than capable of that.
That's what I was planning on doing.
All right. I just wanted to make sure before I take him off there.
Oh.
All right. So it sounds like you guys are going to the temple, unless somebody had a better idea. As soon as you guys dock, Butch let you guys know that he was going to go report in and file his report, and recommends that Willie does the same, and he runs off into the town.
Okay.
Yeah, I will go. I will go with him. I have some business to attend to as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop Willie right before they leave and just kind of whisper to him. I'm gonna hold up a gold coin and I'm gonna say, "I'll bet you he's getting more bowstrings. Bet you this gold coin." And just smile and wave.
I'm not going to take that bet. You're just taking my money. Of course he's getting more bowstrings. The way that boy goes through bowstrings. Putting the bowmaster through college, I tell you that much.
All right. So it sounds like Godric, Holly, Fitz, and Yindris are all heading to the temple.
Yep.
Yindris and Fitz, you guys wouldn't know this because you've never been to Bral before. But Holly and Godric, as you walk through the streets of the town heading up to the temple, and I will actually draw a circle here for you. The temple is obviously right here, and the docks are over to the left here. So you're walking up the street there. As you're walking through, you notice a couple of things that kind of strike as weird. First, there's nobody on the streets. Like, absolutely nobody. The second thing you notice is that this town that's was powered with some type of arcane energy, crystals in the lights acting as street lights, if you will, things of that nature, have all stopped working. But you continue your way through the town. Nobody stops you, obviously, because nobody's there. And you make it up to the temple.
Just a quick. After I notice that there's no people and power, breathing is okay.
Yeah.
Nothing looks, smells funny. Nothing out of place from the last time we were here.
Nope, everything seems fine. I mean, when you were at the dock, there
Okay.
was a couple of guards posted, and the dock worker who took your coin and then went back into the office. But
Okay.
once you
Well, I
got out,
mean, we're in a giant asteroid, man.
yeah,
If it doesn't look like things are working, I'm checking.
no, I hear you. Everything seems fine in terms of livability. You just don't see anybody as you walk through the town, and you walk past a small market and a couple of neighborhoods, and you just don't see anybody, and none of the lights seem to be working
Okay.
as you go.
Okay. Well, nothing that's really telling me that we shouldn't continue our way to the temple. So, if nobody else has got any objections, I say we just continue on.
Temple, temple, temple.
Sounds like Miss Holly's game for that.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, I'm good.
So onward to the temple we go.
Give me 1 second. All right. So you guys get up to the temple, and kind of the same situation with the city when you walk in. It seems very empty. There's not the commotion and the hustle that there once was. There's no citizens paying their worships and tributes. You do hear some chanting coming from the far end of the temple, which would be over here. and you see 2 war priests posted outside that door as well.
Well, since they're the only other living beings we're seeing, sounds like that's where we're heading.
Just looking at this place, is there anything to say like what deity this is based on, or is this kind of a non-denominational?
Multi. I determined that the last time we were here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
as you glance around the temple, you see symbols to multiple deities. You do see one to Apollo, amongst other gods. You do not, however, notice one for Palor. All right, so it sounds like you guys are going to the far side of the temple, unless anybody's got anything else.
No, that's where I'm planning on heading.
I'm just going to make sure my holy symbol is right there in front.
Okay. So you guys walk over, and as you begin to approach the war priests who are guarding this door, one of them steps forward. Halt, citizens! If you are citizens, I'm not sure I've seen any of you before, but court martial's in effect. What are you doing out of your residences?
Number one, we don't have a residence. We're not. We're travelers passing through town. We were sent on a job for via the bishop.
Bishop Formand.
Yes.
Yeah, the bishop. And we finished our job and we came to report in.
Well, the bishop is currently leading ceremony. If you hadn't noticed, there's some strange workings here on Bral that must be addressed, and the whole congregation is currently in worship to try and fix it. They shan't be disturbed right now.
Well, I mean, I don't know about the rest of the party, but as a believer of my God, I wouldn't mind giving them a hand, praying and chanting and trying to help the situation. If that's not an option, we would probably want to see the bishop at his earliest convenience to see if we can help. And once again, report back to him for what he sent us out to do.
As you're talking, the priest takes note of the symbol of Apollo, the emblem you have encrusted on your shield. Well, a true believer of one of the high gods could certainly be of use. You may enter, but the rest must remain out here.
I'm okay with that. You guys okay with that?
It's the last time we ever saw him.
Yeah, for real.
I'll go in and
Guess.
see what I can find out. I'll come back and let you guys know.
He unbars the door and allows you to step in. When you step in, you see the congregation in the pews, all silently chanting, each holding the emblem to their specific deity. And up in front of the pews, you see Bishop Formand doing his own chant to his own deity. They're all head down, humming, saying their prayers and rites.
I will slide into a open slot in the back. It's not letting me drag my character for some reason. Otherwise, I would.
It's weird. Put you right there. Sound good? Or do you want to be somewhere
Yeah.
else?
No, that's fine.
All right.
And actually, I do. Yeah, I keep an amulet on my belt. I'll just grab that instead of using my shield. And I'll join.
Sounds good.
Something like, "Oh, great Apollo, the troubles that are burdening this town, village, people. I hope you can help send away. Sounds like a good one.
Okay. And are you just generally praying, or do you have some type of spell or ritual you're performing?
Nope, just generally.
Okay.
Just trying to fit in and feel like I'm trying to help them.
All right. And while Godric is praying, what are the rest of you going to be doing?
Feeling a little butthurt that my god isn't one of the high gods, honestly.
Well, remember I said that you didn't notice an emblem to Palor here, so they may just not recognize your deity's symbol.
Oh, well, I guess in that case, I'm gonna. Excuse me, gentlemen. Perhaps you didn't notice, but I am a paladin of Palor, god of the sun and fire and death to the undead. Maybe you just haven't heard of us. I'm not sure if his missionaries have gotten out here yet.
Can't
And I flashed him a winning smile.
I can't say that I've ever heard of Palor. What kind of works does your deity perform?
Mostly the fiery retribution and destruction of evil, anything unholy. Really, really hates the undead. Um, any sort of perversions like that. Really not a big fan of the demons either. Loves to smote them. Basically anything really susceptible to radiant damage, we enjoy hitting them with lots of it.
That sounds like quite the deity for a war priest like myself. If you believe your deity can help, you may join your friend in the chamber.
I'll look at everybody else like, do you mind if we go? I'll leave Sir Fluffy out here.
I don't mind.
You're broken up there,
Okay.
Max.
Go for it.
All right, I'll go in with all the other little clergy and I'll start to pray too.
Okay. You just gonna take a seat in the back, or how are you doing it?
I'm going to go sit next to this lady, I think, with the warhammer.
Which one? Like second one from the back on the left hand side there?
The second one from the front.
Okay, on the right side.
Yeah.
That one?
Yep. I'll go sit there.
Okay. It's not a, what is it? It's kind of like a staff, but the tip of it is like a morning star. If that makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, you take up your prayers, and are you performing any rituals or casting any spells while you're in there, or are you just praying?
Believe I'm just yeah, yep, I'm just praying. I don't really have any. I didn't take ceremony today.
Okay. And back to Holly and Yindris. What are you guys up to? It's now just you and Sir Fluffy Butt.
I don't want to walk up temple and see if I can find any hidden secrets or like loot or anything.
Around the temple?
Yeah, around the main part that we're in right now.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Okay. So yeah, you walk around and look around the temple. You see a lot of different altars, each one to a different deity. Each altar has the symbol of that respective deity, some kind of ornate, sometimes gem encrusted symbol, um, too large for you to lift, basically. But each altar has offerings on it. Some have some coins here and there, others have item offerings, material offerings, and such. Uh, Nothing of particular value. Um, Beyond that, it's a well crafted temple. The stonework is exquisite, and there's a large fountain in the center. You don't find any hidden secrets or anything beyond that. Was there anything you wanted to try and do with any of that, or you good just seeing it?
Just seeing it. Oh, second.
Okay. Holly, was there anything you wanted to do, or just hang out and wait?
I'm gonna hang out with Sir Fluffy Butt in the little corner. Wait for everybody else to finish their ceremony.
Okay. So while this is going on, Butch and Willie reported to the Citadel on the bottom of Brawl. Or I'm sorry, to the naval base. I'll share the map with everybody so you guys can all see where it's at. Uh, you, you and Dutch reported to the naval base. Took some time filling out your report and submitting it. And Willie, there was something you wanted
Oh,
to do, so go ahead.
I definitely would not have filled out my report.
Okay. Well, Dutch definitely did.
Just for the record, and it's not in Willie's. That's one of the things Willie hates the most of those reports. Let me tell you that right now. Yeah, so I'm gonna go up to like the main watch guy there, whoever he happens to be. I'm pretty sure in my backstory he was kind of like my adopted father, so I know him pretty well. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna be like, hey, uh, I've been pretty discontent in the guard. This is very monotonous. This is I just don't. I miss the freedom of being a pirate, but I hate the piracy part of the piracy and being on the ship. I think I found an opportunity in a group of people who need my help. I'm going to tend my resignation to the watch, and I'm going to depart.
This stern looking Gif, which is one of the hippo people who's the commander of the outlying guard. So the guard that gets sent off rock lays his large hippo hand on your shoulder. I've known this was coming for quite some time, son, and although it breaks my heart to see you go, I know that you're not from here, and life has been rough being here, and that you need to be elsewhere. If you truly believe this is where your destiny lies, I grant you your resignation.
I'm not telling you how much I appreciate what you have done for me. I wish you the best. Farewell.
As you as you take that first step away, wait, Willie. He pulls a bag out of his pocket and goes, "Your severance pay. Here you are." It's not much. It's a meager 150 gold, but it is your last pay and a little parting gift from your adopted father.
All in one place.
Make sure you're not a stranger. Although I am your or was your commanding officer, I do care for you like a son, and I'd like to see you again.
Our paths will cross again. And I'll turn and walk away.
And Dutch is off talking to his commanding officer, and conversation's getting a little heated, so probably best you leave that one alone.
Probably all those requisitions for bowstrings.
Probably. Where are you headed next, Willie?
I am going to head to the temple to meet up with the rest of the group because that's where they said they were heading.
Okay. Sounds good. So we'll jump back over to the temple then. Probably a solid hour has passed since Godric and Fitz started praying with the rest of the clergy here at the temple. And almost seemingly in a practiced unison, all of the members of the temple stop their prayers simultaneously. You see Bishop Foreman kind of scans over the crowd and we will resume in 1 hour. Tend to your business. And all of the priests get up and leave the room.
If I'm still in the middle of my prayer, then I'm gonna finish.
No, absolutely.
I don't.
This is
don't
just what
care. I
the
don't care
rest
if
of them
they
do.
finish. I'm not finishing.
Okay, so you continue praying.
Yeah. Once I finish my prayer, I'll look up to the bishop and
He's standing there.
hopefully,
He sees you. He saw you there, and he stood waiting while you worked your prayers.
then I'll head up to him.
Is it still not letting you move?
Actually, I don't know. I was actually alt tabbed looking up some information. I am now staring at a Brawl bottom screen. So give me a second.
Yeah,
I
just
will
close that
find
one.
out.
The top will still be there.
Yeah. Oh, temple. There we go. I am in the temple. And Godric? No.
All right, let me reset your character. There. Try moving him now.
There we go. Now I'm moving.
Beautiful.
All right. So, Bishop.
I forgot the voice I did for him a second ago, so I'm sorry if it's not the same. But hello, Godric.
How's it going?
Well, things are not so great. How are you? Did things go bad? I don't see the other 5 members of your party, and this one's new.
Yes. Our other members were actually outside. Your guards wouldn't allow them to join us. Um, my new companion Fitz, his relationship to his god and my relationship to mine seemed to uh, get the attention of your guards to allow us to come in. No, we finished the job at hand, and it took us a little bit to get back, but we are here. The job is done. We obviously noticed that something is going on here in town, and me and Fitz decided we'd try and help with the prayers, and maybe you can fill us in on what's going on, and we can look at concluding our business for the other thing all at the same time.
As you're saying these words to Bishop Foreman, he takes Fitz's hand into his, keeping in mind he is an auto gnome, so he's a robotic gnome basically, and starts kind of like poking and pinching at your skin, almost in a testing way. And as you finish what you were saying, oh well, we're not quite sure what's going on. The city is powered by a large crystal, and we're looking into that aspect of things. But in the event it's not, we, as the temple and the council decided, began our prayers. Uh, Hopefully, as a deterrent if anything really bad is happening. And as he finishes taking, he starts reaching up to kind of caress your cheek, Fitz.
I look at Fitz and just grin and give him the "Hey, it's okay" look.
Having lived in the orphanage for so long, this does not phase me at all. This is like second nature. Like, oh, okay, the tiny creature wants to touch me. Yes, yes, you're very cute.
He kind of pokes and prods and plays with your ears a little bit. And this one's remarkably similar to the what did you call them? The the half elf that was with you.
Yes, Miss
Seemingly
Howard.
just missing the stupor of youth and the pointy ears. Interesting. Interesting. He stops touching you and pulls out his notebook and starts scribbling notes down.
If it helps, my mom's an elf.
Are you a half elf? Oh, you're
No,
you're
I'm
an
an
Asm.
Azamar.
I'm
The
sorry.
alien kind of overrules the rest of it.
I totally forgot and thought you were a human. I'm sorry. Horrible DM moment. I apologize.
Sorry, I'm not even sure if Azamars can. I don't know. Do they have pointy ears already?
I don't believe so. Appear as glorious humans with lustrous hair. So no pointy ears.
Hmm.
Um, he quickly scribbles down some notes and looks up and yes, of course. Let's retreat to my quarters. As you heard, only have an hour before I must be back.
Sure.
Should we get the rest of the party out there waiting for us?
Yeah,
Well,
he calls out for one of the temple guards and has them escorted to his office.
that's exactly what I was going to ask him. On our way to his studies, I was going to ask him if he could send a guard after them. So that works out.
Absolutely. Let me get him in here. So you all are in his private office. You do notice that box with the riddle on it still unopened, sitting on the desk as you enter. He walks in and quickly picks up some papers and starts reading them. Just one moment. I was in the middle of reading this when Praz started.
You didn't get the box open.
No, we cannot read the language, and I know that. Wait a minute. Some of your party is missing. What happened to the bird-looking fellow and the other one?
They well, a couple of the members actually we ended up with a couple of members of your guard in our group. They are currently checking in with the guard, as far as I know. The bird fellow, he unfortunately disappeared in our travels. I'm sure, being that we left on a ship from here, you've probably heard that we've lost a ship.
Well, I haven't received word that the ship returned yet, but I have no news of its demise or destruction. And this one, the one
I,
resembling a lizard, looks different from the last time I saw it.
yeah, he is not the same member from last time either.
Oh, my humble apologies. I'm not familiar with your species. Very rude of me to assume you were the same one that was here before. My apologies.
Don't worry about it, man. Happens all the time to me.
But this is Yerdris, and I'm horrible at pronouncing names, so if I get that wrong, my apologies. But and this is Fitz. This one I do get.
My pleasure, my pleasure. I am Bishop Formand, as I'm sure you were told, the High Priest of the Temple of Brawl and sitting council member of the Brawl High Council. But yes, in regards to the box, nobody was able to solve the riddle.
Memory serves me correctly, that was Draconic?
Undercommon.
Undercommon.
I remember that much. I don't remember the riddle itself. I'm looking to see if I got it in a note here still.
Okay. Would it happen for either of you to know Undercommon, Fitz or Yurndris?
Well,
I don't even know
He-
Draconic and Giant.
he had it written down, so I will put it out in common
That's right.
because Astra had translated it for everybody.
That's right. I don't remember it all, but I remember that.
I just put it in the chat in game. They're just playing, Pam. They're fine.
So, yeah. So, Riddle, we were trying to help him with this the last time we were here. None of us was very good at riddles, so we just kind of suggested he have his other scholars look into it. I don't know if either of you are any good at riddles.
I remember, I think I said it kind of sounded vampirish. Maybe. Whatever that means.
As you guys are pondering over the parchment with the riddle on it, good old Willie comes through the door, and I'll let him describe the manner in which he comes through the door.
Okay. And for some reason, you have now put that up 3 times. One.
I only put it up
One from
once. Yindris and Willie both put it up the second and third time.
Yeah, but they're marked GM. I think is when you grab their characters.
No.
I definitely didn't do it. I didn't touch anything. I promise.
Okay. I thought you
Okay,
guys were
Willie-
resharing it.
See, it says GM right next to it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so I'm gonna walk in and be like, "Hello."
hey, Willie.
I think
Hi.
it was a fish, but technically they breathe, so that doesn't work.
I have decided if you would like, I will come with you back to your realm.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Hey,
Yeah.
good to have you, man.
We will smash stuff
Yeah.
and eat it. Yes.
We were just discussing things with the bishop. Seeing the box on the table reminded me the last time we were here, we were trying to help him figure out this riddle. Not that it's a major thing, but we just thought we'd be helpful. Relay the information to him there that you can now see on the screen there. You can read for yourself. It's a riddle of some sorts we assume needs to be answered to open this box. But in the meantime, okay, so what's our next step?
Have you tried hitting it with an axe?
No. We don't know what lies within, and we don't want to release anything unnecessarily. Or destroy anything unnecessarily.
Okay. Well, I got my axe with me if we want to try it. So.
Say, how did you all get back? If I haven't gotten a report of the ship returning, what occurred there?
Well, it just so happens that when we left with a tree ent. We found an abandoned ship on what seemed to be an abandoned asteroid. The tree ent bonded with said ship, and the now living ship is currently docked in the docks.
Interesting. But was the ship named by chance? Do you know who it belonged to? It's not super often ships go missing without us knowing about it, and we do like to keep track of what occurred if it was one of our ships, as I'm sure you can understand.
As a matter of fact, there was a scroll with a name on it, and I think I gave said scroll to Willie or Miss Holly.
I think Holly has them.
Um,
There were 2 books you guys found.
let me see.
Skalgar's journal, which Holly has,
That I have.
and I thought there
I
was
think
a
it was
second one.
I think it was the journal, because the first thing we picked up was just a scroll.
I have some order.
Orders.
The
There you go.
orders.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I have a journal, a Commander Ebox journal.
Okay,
So
Yeah.
so
I
there were
pull out
3
a
things.
parchment paper and a journal. Yes,
Yeah.
I have these.
The
These
Yeah.
things here.
The scroll was outside the cave. The journal was on the ship, and I gave them. I thought I gave them to Willie because Willie had the scroll.
yeah, so he'll collect those from you, and well, thank you kindly. The names I do not recognize, unfortunately, but I will certainly check them against our logs and make sure that if they did belong to us, things are recorded and documented properly. Holly, are you going to present the journal you have?
Yeah, I can present it.
Okay. So just go ahead and take those items off your guys' inventory. The bishop has them for the time being. If you want them back, you can ask for them later. Holly, I had yours open, so I took it off for you.
Okay.
All right. So yes, now down to business. You said your treant bonded with the ship.
Hmm.
I have not seen a living ship for quite some time myself. It's normally the druids that live and work among them, and they usually keep to themselves in the outer rims. Very, very lucky of you to come into acquisition of a living ship. It is yours, of course, finder's rights. Uh, assuming you intend to keep it, of course.
Well, it just so happens a living. When we first arrive in these planes of existence, our first meeting was with a spirit and a tree ant, and they tasked us with trying to find this sapling a new home, i.e., a living ship. And like I said, he found it in the cave we ended up on an abandoned asteroid. So this has been quite a journey, but we are about ready to go back to our plane, and we're hoping that we've done enough to earn that favor we were discussing and make our way home. And the last time I spoke with the ship, um, he was hoping to join us, but baby steps.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know, Willie, you have some mild experience in ship piloting, but the rest of you, any idea what you're doing with a ship, even? I'll take
Miss
your
Holly, your turn.
silence. I'll take your silence as a resounding no. But might I recommend you pay a visit to the Mercane Agency? There's usually some crew members for hire there. Um, Permanently work aboard the ship, and then you can go about your business and not have to worry about the ship itself.
Hmm. We may look into that. So
Perhaps.
going
How
home.
a spell jammer ship would work on the prime material plane.
I mean,
Yeah.
magic is magic. Assuming your magic works here as it does in the material plane, everything should transfer just fine.
I think at one point we discussed maybe conversion in small talks. in our travels when we had nothing better to do, of converting to a water-bound instead of a astral plane-bound.
I mean, depending on the type of ship you have, it may work quite well on both.
Sure, well, I guess it depends on getting it there and seeing how it acts.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, now down to business. The clock is ticking. Did you complete the task I sent you on?
Yes. That was
Yes.
to remove the lunar dragon.
Yes, yes. How did you fare? Other than
Uh,
two party members short, I see. That's losses are to be expected with those darn dragons, though.
I will. I think somebody may have grabbed the head, but I don't think it was one of our current members. So I will pull a handful of the lunar dragon scales out of my bag.
It was the egg that you guys grabbed, and Holly has it
Right.
in her inventory.
Okay, there we go.
That is
So
what you
Miss
guys
Holly,
intended on presenting as proof.
there you go. So Miss Holly, if you could show him the proof
Sure.
and
You pull the egg out of your inventory, and the bishop takes it from you. And my, oh my, it has been quite a long time, many decades since the last time I held one of these. Wondrous, wondrous. And he calls for one of the war priests to come in and hands the egg off to him and make sure this gets put in the proper location and whisks him off. Well, a deal is a deal. The council meeting is tonight at the Star Haven. I will give you a pass to make sure that you can get there. You won't be allowed in the council chambers for the majority of the proceedings, if at all, but I will present the case to them. They are aware that you were doing the job for us, um, and we will see what they have to say. Unfortunately, I can't make any promises, as the council must vote on the matter, and yes, we'll see what happens. So this evening, they meet late, about the time that the moon you can see off the rock is high in the sky.
okay. Willie, can you give us a estimate on time?
Sure. I'll estimate the time.
About 8 hours.
About 8 hours.
Oh, good, good. I don't know about you guys, but my supplies are little low. So I thought about maybe doing some shopping while we were in town, and we got 8 hours, and
Bishop
we were fully
Foreman's
rested when we got off the ship. So
Bishop Foreman's ear kind of perks up as you say this, and it may be a tad bit difficult. People should be in their residences, and most of them live in their shops, but some of the shops may not be operational, just because the residents don't live there. And as I'm sure you saw, what did I say? Martial law is what I meant to say earlier. Martial law is under effect. We have everybody sheltering in their homes until we determine the cause of the loss of magic in the city. Um, I will write you a pass to allow you to move through the streets without any issues. Just ensure that you don't linger. Go handle your business and get back to the ship or wherever you're staying.
well, that's actually a really good question. Does the temple have any room?
Unfortunately, we don't. All of our quarters are built specifically for the number of clergy we have. We unfortunately just cannot accommodate any guests.
Hmm.
Great.
Okay. Well, you say things may not necessarily be operational. Do you think the inn might be able to take us in? Because we don't have a residence to stay in.
It's quite possible. I mean, if you have a living ship, I'm sure there's more than enough room to sleep aboard there. But it's quite possible the inn is operational. Most innkeepers live within the inn. It's at their discretion if they want to continue operating while martial law is in effect.
Okay, well, at least we know we have options if we need it. Thank you.
Of course, of course. And he'll hand you two slips of paper. The first is the pass into the Star Haven for the five of you, and the second one is pass to move through the streets while martial law is in effect.
Okay,
There's
and what?
definitely 6 of us here.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
the
I'm sure Mr.
unicorn.
Fluffy
Yeah.
Butt wants to go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this.
Can I get your back fed?
No, you're right. The six of you. I stand corrected.
That is one
Perfect.
thing I'm
Thank you.
surprised he didn't make note of. Just horse. But okay. Okay,
After
so where is this meeting, by the way?
the Star Haven, if you leave the temple and walk south just a little bit, then look to the east. It's the giant spire up on top of the hill.
Oh, okay, yep. We will find our way there then.
You will have to pass through the high city, of course. You'll cross the bridge over Lake Brawl, and then through the gates and up to the High Council chambers.
We will get there. Thank you.
Of course. I will see you this evening. If there's nothing else, though, I must bid you adieu as prayers are about to resume.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you. See you later.
I'm gonna stand up, shake his hand, and lean in and say, the answer to that riddle is fish. It's a fish.
A fish?
Yeah,
Like,
scales. They're scales, like you descale them to eat them, and they're cold blooded and
he lets go of your hand and runs over to the box and gets in real close and goes, "Fish!" Nothing happens, and he stands there and scratches his head for a second. I know! And runs out of the room. I know, different accent, don't judge me. I'm not a voice actor. Runs out of his office, comes back about 10 seconds later with a fish in his hand, and sets it on the box. And no sooner than that fish touches the box, the lid pops open. You hear a little internal click, and it just. He slowly opens the box, and inside of it, there's a couple of books, a couple of scrolls, a couple of gems, and a bag full of coins. And he happily takes the bag of coins and ushers it over to Fitz. And here, sir. Thank you so much. This has been driving me dreadfully crazy these last few weeks. Go ahead and add 150 gold to your inventory sheet. Here, I got it for you. 215. There you go. It's on there. All right. Again, it has been lovely to see all of you. I must go resume prayers. Please, if you could see yourselves out, just don't pass through the prayer chamber. And thank the two of you again very kindly for offering your prayers to your deities in our assistance.
Of course.
Always.
And with that, he ushers you out of his office and closes and locks the door behind him, and then runs off back to prayer.
All right. I guess we're taking the long way around. Making our way to the outside.
All right. So you guys are back in the city of Brawl, just outside the temple. Oh, don't want to do that. Apparently, I didn't add a grid to the city. It's all good. So you guys are standing right outside the temple right now. I don't have dots on all the businesses, so if there's a specific kind of shop any of you want to visit, just let me know and I'll tell you where to go.
I'm hoping to find an armor shop actually.
That would be the Smith's Coster by the Great Market.
That's where I'm heading. See if they're open.
Okay.
Probably going to be looking in, depending on what money I have left. I may be looking at healing potions, possibly. Isn't that down in that area as well?
Yes, that is. Which one was it? I wrote notes. Give me a second. Oop, wrong one. There it is. So the Smith's Coster is a dwarven owned and operated forge. Gaspar's Reclamation is owned and operated by a plasmoid, Gaspar, who buys and sells magical items and oddities, as well as jewelry. And then the greater market won't be any good to you right now, but that's typically where you'd find vendors with all sorts of oddities, anything from rations to miscellaneous adventuring equipment, potions, and such. You may find potions at gas bars, but it's dependent on whether or not somebody else sold them to him.
Gotcha.
But there is no official apothecary.
Okay. Anybody else on the hunt for anything before I just jump on in here?
I'd like
I
to.
don't think I need anything. I will check my inventory.
Fitz?
I'd like to check out Gasper's.
Miss Holly, is your inventory short on anything you'd like to look into? Eardris?
I'm checking.
Or my inventory is like completely full on potions because I haven't used any, so I don't really need anything.
Okay.
Let me check my monies. I could use another potion of healing.
You guys talk for a second. I need 1 minute here.
I'll
Okay.
share
Well,
one potion of healing.
all right. Well, so it looks like Gasper's Reclamation for you as well. I mean, if Gasper's has a chance at jewelry and such, if there's anything that you guys can think of, you might be interested in looking for. Pretty new cloaks, rings, that kind of stuff. Maybe that might want to join us and take a look, see what they got.
Yeah, sure, I'll join. I might want to go look and see if they got any new armors and
I did get some several today.
weapons.
Yeah, I've been collecting scales, dragon scales through these adventures. I'm going to look into having some armor crafted. Those are my intentions.
All right, sorry about that. Dog decided bathroom time. All right, so where are we going?
Okay, so everybody wants to go check out Gasper's to see what kind of goodies they have,
Okay.
i.e., rings, cloaks, that kind of fun stuff. Maybe potions, and I still need to make a trip to the armor smith to see about making these scales into something.
All right. So you would pass by the Smith's Coster first on your way to the market area. Sound good to go there first, or you want to go to Gaspar's first?
If there's no objections, just swing by there first to make it quicker.
I'm gonna go take a gander.
All right. So yeah, you approach the Smith's Coster. Is clearly a dwarven forge. The architecture and such resembles that of what you would see on the material plane of a dwarven establishment. As you approach, the door is shut. The outdoor forge is off. You can see a candle lit inside.
Okay. Knock on the door.
You knock on the door. A few moments later, you see a stout dwarf come out from the back room and come up and crack the door open. You're not supposed to be out upon the streets right now. Don't you know martial law is in effect?
Showing the pass.
I see, I see. Here on official business, then.
Something like that.
What can I assist with?
Well, me and my fellow companions, travelers, we're hoping to see what type of armor you have, and I actually have a question in regards to crafting some armor.
Oh, your patrons, I see. Yes, come in, come in, come in. And he opens the door and allows you all to enter. I don't have a
Oh,
predetermined dwarf name, so we'll go with shit, I don't know. Stano.
Runer.
My name's Stanor Heavyhammer. Pleasure to be of service. You said you're looking for some armor.
well, I know that my companions were interested in seeing what you had available. Maybe seeing if you had anything to get them upgraded, I believe. I, on the other hand, have been collecting, and I show them some of the Drake scales and Lunar Dragon scales.
Oh, these are quite lovely. How'd you come upon such an item?
Well, apparently it was a Lunar Dragon that was wreaking some havoc. We were asked to deal with, so we dealt with it and brought these along with.
I see, I see. Yes, I can make something quite lovely out of these. What did you have in mind?
Well, as you can see, I'm currently wearing full plate. I'm kind of hoping to stay in full plate, but maybe something, I don't know, a little bit stronger, lighter. What can you do with these? Obviously, I'm not a armor smith, so I don't know. I just know these things are pretty tough. So,
I'll tell you, these drake scales, they're not quite as tough as the lunar dragon scales. I could definitely do a plate for you with the lunar plate, with the lunar scale as the base, and then kind of do an infusion of the drake scales, give them a little extra oomph. It's been quite some time since I worked with dragon material, but last time I did it, there was some special attributes that came out with the armor. Really, it depends on the type of dragon, though.
okay, well, as far as I know, they were pretty standard drakes as far as the drake scales goes, but obviously the dragon scales are full lunar. So, how much would it cost for you to facet these into a full plate?
How soon do you need it?
I kind of would like to see a rush job, because I don't know how long I'm going to be here. But obviously, I don't want to rush your creativity either.
I see. Well, standard plate runs about 2,500 gold around here for a custom job, rushed, and ensuring that any properties that might carry over stay carried over. Call it 3,500 gold even.
3,500. I can do 3,500.
All right. I do require half up front as it is a custom job, and then the other half upon delivery.
You know what? I don't like doing that. I'm going to put my trust in you since you have a sign hanging outside your window. Here's the full 35.
Much appreciated, sir. Much appreciated, sir. I'll tell you what, I'll work all the way through the night, and it'll be ready before breakfast tomorrow.
Thank you.
I'll need 5 of the lunar scales and 10 of these Drake ones to make something that'll fit you.
Okay. Could we knock off some of the price if I just gave you the rest of the Drake scales? Or are any of you guys interested in what I have left here?
How much do you
What
have
you
left
got?
of the lunar?
Yeah, what you got?
He said how many now? Let me.
5 lunar and 10 Drake to make your plate.
Oh, so I got exactly double that.
Is that what you have left, or is that what you had total?
Well, now I have 10 Drake scales left and 5 Lunar Dragon scales left. I literally had double what you were asking for.
Gotcha.
So essentially, he could facet a second full set, full plate set.
I bet I could.
Of course, I'm not paying for it, but anybody?
Or
Just
I don't wear full plate armor, so it wouldn't do me any good. But we could certainly make some like nice medium armor.
I could do that. I could definitely take these Drake scales and fashion you a nice scale mail out of it.
Like I said, I got what I wanted out of these scales. So it's up to you guys. I don't know if you guys want to, arm wrestle or whatever. I don't care.
How much would you charge for the scale mail?
Oh, let me see. He pulls out a ruler and starts taking some measurements off you. If I could type, I could give you a price. Hold on. Let me see. Custom job overnight. I could do 1,500 for the scale mail. And that would only take up the Drake scales here. You'd still have some lunar scales to work with if anybody wanted anything else.
Like, well, I don't have quite 1,500, but if you want to barter, I might have a few things that you can be interested in.
Well, what do you got? I'm always looking to buy.
All right, I'll sit down my pack here and First, I'll pull out just like a pretty hefty size gold bag, about 11 pounds, and just drop it on the. But that'll be the gold portion there. Then I've got one magic ring, and I'll slide that over there. A cloak, a magic cloak, I'll slide that over. And this beauty, and I'll pull off one of the two battle axes I have. I'll set it down. I'll be like, it's a magic axe, but she's a hell of a weapon. You want to be careful when you use it.
See. That's just so we're on the same page. That's the Berserk Battle Axe and the Cloak of Protection and the Ring of Protection, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he picks up each item and looks at them closely and sets them back down and can't say I want to take the battle axe. I know exactly what kind of axe that is, and if you do, you should know better than to try to point it off on somebody else. But
I mean, fine. I'll pick the axe up, put it in my pack, and I'll pull a magic hand axe off my belt. I'll be like, all right, how about that then? Something more your size.
well, you can keep the hand axe. The cloak and the ring alone, with the gold, not even all the gold, just a couple hundred of it, would cover the scale mail.
All right,
Wait,
sounds good.
what cloak and ring are you trading?
I had a cloak of protection and a ring of protection.
Oh,
And I will give him the cloak and the ring. And how much gold?
200. Yeah, I'll take those items off your list if you want to do your gold there.
And will he need the full amount of the different scales?
Just the last of the Drake scales. So the lunar scales are still on the table.
Okay, so I will remove the Drake scales.
All right, well, we still got these lunar scales. Anybody else need anything, or am I back to bartering here with this stone-looking fella?
Do you have any potions?
No, we don't sell anything like that here. If it doesn't kill or keep you from getting killed, and I understand potions may fall under that category, but weapons and armor, that's what we sell here.
Just asking.
What about if nobody else is interested and there's only 5 left, there isn't much for armor wise. But what about shields?
I might be able to get a nice shield crafted out of this.
All right.
Let me see what I can do here. Give me just a second. I'm looking and seeing. Yeah, if you want all of this done tonight, ready by tomorrow breakfast, it'd be 1,000 gold to get you a shield crafted out of these.
Sure. All right. So that eats up all those scales out of my bag. Works for me. And okay, well then, as far as my business here, it's concluded. So if the rest of you have nothing else, off to Gasper's reclamations.
I have a question. What kind of weapons do you carry?
A little bit of everything. What kind of weapon are you in the market for?
I'm in need of I want to say a new axe of some kind.
Give me just 1 second. I'm just marking items here so they're ready for when you guys pick up. Any particular style of axe?
One that I can wield a one-handed axe. Doesn't really matter what style, just a one-handed axe.
Right. Let me see. Hey, we have our standard battle and great axe and hand axes. Nothing particularly fancy.
So it's a normal hand axe.
You said a hand axe.
Yeah.
I do have this one little guy. Picked him up a little while ago. He said this hand axe kept him from being surprised. Uh, I bought it off him for 100 gold. I'd give it to you for 250. You know, upsale and whatnot.
That's fine, I can do that.
All right. You want me to take that gold off your sheet for you?
Yeah.
All right. And there you go. It's on your sheet. It's a hand axe of warning, so you can't be. It warns you of danger while the weapon is on your person. You have advantage on initiative rolls. In addition, you and any of your companions within 30 feet of you can't be surprised, except when incapacitated by something other than non magical sleep. All right. Anything else for anybody today?
No.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I'd like to bid you all adieu. I need to get to work here to have these orders ready by morning. He gestures towards the front door.
Thank you for your time, good sir.
Very welcome, very welcome. Like I said, breakfast tomorrow. Might be a tad after breakfast now that there's 2 more items for me to make, but feel free to come by around that time. More than welcome to hang around until I'm complete if I'm not quite there yet. And as he beckons you out the front door, he shuts it behind. You hear a latch click over, and anybody who looked would see him disappear into the back room, and you start to see smoke coming out of the back of the shop. All
All
right.
right.
What are y'all up to next?
That's this little feller.
I like those dwarves. Very hardworking people.
All right. So we're off to Gasper's reclamations, I guess.
All right. So down the street, around the market, you find Gasper's Reclamations sitting on a corner there across from the Great Market. A quaint little shop with signs in the windows saying odds and oddities welcome.
Knock on the door.
Same scenario as last time. Little Gaspar Plasmoid pops the door open. You're not supposed to be out here.
Do the same thing. Showing the pass.
All right. Come on in. It's only being cautious. Don't want to get in any trouble.
I understand.
What can Gaspar do for you?
Well, we're travelers, and we are trying to get things restocked in our inventory in preparations of leaving.
So to be
We're under.
supplies and rations, then I'm assuming you'd want them delivered to your ship. We have a very, very reasonable delivery fee, of course.
Guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind like 10 days of rations, just in case.
All right.
I
That's not
need
good.
a large glass jar and some salt.
A large glass jar and some salt.
Yeah, a large glass jar about this big, and I pull out this rancid mind flare head. I'm like, I'm gonna put this in a jar. I was gonna turn into a hat, but it's a little rancid now, so I'm just gonna stick it in a jar and carry it around with me. But I need the jar, and I stuff it in my pack.
Did you want the embalming fluid for that truly creepy look?
Well, I'm just do they have formaldehyde? You know what I'm saying? It's like salt water, same thing. We'll just stick it in there, a lot of salt, pickle
It's
it.
it's kind of like a pickling juice of sort.
Sounds delicious. We might have a bite later. I like where your head's at, my man.
All right. Well, the smallest size ration we sell is 25 days worth. It's 50 gold for a crate of that. I would do 10 on the jar large enough with the pickling or embalming fluids, whatever that is, for the head.
Yeah, 10. That sounds like a great deal.
Yeah, I'll that'll be good for all of us in case we run into situations again.
I'll pull 10 gold out of my bag and give it to him.
Okay.
So, what kind of weird things do you have? I assume the vibe of the shop. There's got to be some interesting things.
Alas, we kind of got cleaned out by the council not long ago. I'm not sure what's going on, but they came and used city funds to buy up most of the oddities that I collect. I do still have a few here, though. Of course, Gaspar is happily offering his detection and identification services if that is something that may interest you. Um, I do have this curious little ring that allows you to change your shape, your appearance, if you will. Um, this other ring over here allows you to see through things. I have this bag that allows you to carry massive quantities of items without adding any additional weight. Of course, we have
Okay, how much for the bag of holding?
2,500 gold.
Okay.
Oof.
Anybody have an extra kidney?
I mean, I'm sure I can sell mines. And then I look and I'm like, I'm just kidding.
You
We of
happen to
course
have
have
any?
standard charm of air bubbles. They are quite essential out on the astral sea, just in case. I've also been dabbling in tattoo work lately.
What are we talking about?
Well, there was this gentleman that passed through quite some time ago. A magic type, if you will, and he was working on a way to incorporate arcane abilities into markings you can place on your skin permanently. And he gave me two. He said this first one. Give me a second, I forgot what they do. This first one says it lets you do some extra damage if you were ever to harm another creature. Lets you do it a couple of times a day.
How much for that?
It also makes you quick to hit back in the event that something hits you. I'm selling that one for 5,000 gold currently, and
Oh,
I have this other needle, and this one. He said, as long as you're not wearing any other type of protection, it makes you noticeably stronger than what you would be without any type of armor on. This one I'm selling for 6,000 gold currently.
anything for 200 gold.
Right.
Uh,
See, sister knows my price ranges here.
for 200 gold, I could happily show you where the front door is, unfortunately.
Um.
Done.
Okay, so you wouldn't happen to be in have any healing potions, would you?
Healing potions. You are in luck. I do happen to have a couple. Not something I usually carry, but this young gentleman on the guard needed a charm of air bubbles for work, and Where is it? Ended up trading me for them. That quite basic potions, of course. 50 gold each. Those are standard potions of healing.
I'll take
I can
one for
take
sure
some
then.
of that.
Yeah, however many. He's got 5 in inventory. So amongst all of you, you can take up to 5. It's 50 gold apiece. Just mark it off and add it to your sheet.
Okay. Now that part of my inventory is done, I
I'll
was
take
hoping for
3.
some bigger ones, but I actually came across these gems. Would you be interested in these?
Let me take a look.
I have 15. They appear to be standard gems.
Pam, you had 2 healing potions previously, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll fix that up to 5 for you.
Okay, I'll take 5.
Gems. You said the 15 standard ones.
Mm-hmm.
He grabs them and takes out his little pocket monocle thing and takes a look at all of them. Yeah, they are decent gems. They're raw, so they'll need a little bit of finesse to them, but I'd be happy to take the whole lot for 40 apiece.
Okay.
So give yourself 600 gold on that.
600 gold. Awesome. And actually, that pretty much well. Oh wait, I have a engraved hammer. There's really no info on it.
Are you looking to sell it or
Yeah,
identify
yeah.
it?
How much would it be to identify it? See if there's anything special about it.
My identification services are 150 gold per item.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna pull out my axe too. Just kind of holding it, waiting.
Okay, I got your message there, Eric. So I'm tracking that. You're pulling out the berserk axe.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna pull
Okay.
out.
Are you trying to sell? Are you trying to sell that?
I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna be like, look, I tried to sell this to blacksmith. He was scared of it. It is a forbidden weapon. You don't want to use it in a group. It's a lone weapon. You know what I'm saying? If you got a shock troop, this is the one to give them. I'm not saying that it doesn't have its uses.
Yes. Well,
All I'm saying.
some.
All I'm saying.
I completely agree with you, kind sir. Some shopkeepers are a little hesitant about cursed items. At a glance, he knew exactly what this battle axe was. Um, Fortunately for you, I am in the habit of taking oddities, and I have a tendency to find a buyer, even in the most remarkable of places. If you're looking to sell, I'd be happy to take it off your hands for you.
What nothing.
Well, it is cursed. I'd give you 1,000 gold for it.
Yes. I try to keep a straight face like that's not just an absurd amount of money to my poor ass. I'm like, yeah, it's 1,000 gold. That sounds acceptable. I was hoping to do more in the stock market, but yeah, that sounds great.
Go ahead and take the item off your sheet and give yourself 1,000 gold there. He takes the engraved hammer from you, Godric, and casts Identify over it, and nothing happens with it. It doesn't give that glowish hue. It doesn't give him any information. You think, at least, because he's a plasmoid and doesn't have eyes, looks back up at you. Unfortunately, this is just a finely crafted ornate hammer, probably used in some sort of ritual of some sort, but there's no speciality to it.
Is it worth anything? A few gold? Something?
I mean, it's finely crafted. I'd give you 20 gold for it.
Tell you what, I'll take it. I'm currently trying to empty some things out of my inventory, so 20 gold it is.
20 gold it is. Is there anything else I can help any of you with?
Um,
I something I'm not realizing I already had something. I bought a hand axe of warning, but I would like to sell my great axe of warning.
You said sell your great axe of warning?
Yes.
Alright. He offers you 500 gold for it.
Take it.
Alright. I got that taken care of for you. Anything else for
and
you lovely people?
actually, you mentioned a bag for 2,500.
Yes, yes, this wonderful bag. And he pulls it up, and it looks like a kind of nappy little rucksack.
Tell you what, I'll take it.
Quite marvelous indeed.
We're shopping around here.
It is
Stay at the mall.
on your sheet. Just take off the 2,500.
Mm-hmm. I have, and I'm compared to what I was, I'm almost broke. So
It's just rich over here. Just fine.
Yeah, we didn't realize we were playing Elon over here.
As
well,
a new DM, I messed up and gave them a lot of gold in the first few encounters. Pam's over there being stingy, though. Just saying.
It's like I gotta go back and buy a castle. I don't know what's going on.
I'm just saying.
Real estate.
Pam is encumberanced out just from the amount of gold she is carrying.
I need to save my money. You never know we can come across and we might need to pay off some creatures. You never know. Gotta save the
I
money.
mean, a badass tattoo that gives you hella protections would be worth it. Especially for somebody who doesn't wear armor.
I know, but expensive.
You would still be in the 4 digits if you bought one of them.
No.
So much money.
Anything else I could interest any of you wonderful people in?
no, that's.
No,
I
not for me.
almost forgot. I am so sorry. I apologize. This wonderful item. One second, I must show you this. It's quite hilarious. He runs behind the counter, grabs something, comes back up to the front counter. Who amongst you is the strongest?
Really?
I just look at everybody.
Or Yendris, probably.
Look at Yendris, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
And there's, yeah.
Would you mind stepping forward for a moment?
Sure, you got it, buddy.
And he lifts up a rod and sets it on the counter. He goes, I would like you to try and pick this item up, please.
He's just gonna walk over to the counter. He's gonna stare at the rod. He's gonna be like, All right. He's gonna take a weird stance. Like he's gonna spread his legs apart and grab both. Take his hands, put it on the rod, one under it and one over it, and he's gonna just struggle to lift it up like Thor's hammer.
Okay, give me a strength check. Just straight strength. So you, one hand under, one hand over, try to lift this rod up. You're straining and groaning and just... The rod does not move at all. The plasmoid behind the counter starts clapping happily. He's like, I told you, it's such a wonderful trick. There's this nifty little button on the end, and as you're still trying to pull, he hits the button, and the rod comes off with you, and you kind of stumble backwards with it a little bit. It's quite wonderful. It's one of the best items I think I've ever found. I love the little oddities that wander in. But yes, this wonderful oddity can go, if you're interested in it, for a measly 1,800 gold.
No, is he gonna say anything? He's gonna go sulk in the corner.
You were broken up there.
And embarrassed as all hell, is gonna go sulk in the corner and not say anything.
I didn't mean to embarrass you, good sir, but if you could please place the merchandise back on the counter. Just for easement's sake.
Throws it in the counter instead of placing it gingerly.
Again, my apologies. I didn't mean to embarrass you. I love the little oddities.
Birds of a feather and all that.
Quite indeed. He places the rod back under the counter. Well, if there's anything else that could interest you, that I could interest you in,
Are you sure you don't have any other items that you might be forgetting?
quite positive. Like I said, the council came and cleared me out not too long ago. What I've shown you is unfortunately all I have.
Okay.
All right. Well, if our business is concluded, I will bid you adieu. It is starting to get.
Okay. I'm interested in this rod, but I don't quite have 1,800 gold. What about if I included these two orreries, and I'll pull out the two wild space orreries that I have?
Well, these items, albeit magical, are quite common here in the Astral Sea. They don't fetch much of a price on sale, much more than 5-10 gold pieces each. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be anywhere near a fair trade if I were to take them for you.
Oh, how short are you, Willie?
160 gold coins.
I can give you
have
that.
160 gold coins you can have.
No, 460 gold coins. I can't count.
Oh. Okay, well I have 160 you can have.
I'll give you the rest.
Do it. We will make use of this item, sir, and I will slide him the 1340 that I have.
All right. And Holly, you're paying the other 460, was it?
460.
360.
Mhm.
All right.
360. Sorry, I'm bad at math, guys.
It's all good.
Fitz, I think Miss Holly's covering what you are offering.
Yeah.
I took that gold off your sheet, Holly, and I will put
Oh, okay.
this wonderful rod on your inventory sheet, Willie.
We've heard that line before.
Sad to see such a happy little oddity go, but I'm sure you'll find something odd to do with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll find some.
Quite well, quite well. Well, if that concludes our business, it is nearing dinner time. I must start making preparations, or my cohabitant will be quite upset with me that food is not ready. Please enjoy your evening. And
Thank you for your time and your merchandise.
quite welcome.
Thank
quite welcome.
you.
If you find any oddities, please feel free to come back. I am quite the collector and love them very much.
No, there's no way we're gonna part with Willie. We like him.
I do like those horns. Don't see a
Right?
lot of that around here. As you exit the shop, same as before, he shuts the door behind you and latches it. And
Well, being that it's getting late, we probably need to start heading towards Starhaven. Is there anything else? I know, like, majority of us are now broke.
so at this
Yeah, guys,
point,
I'm skinned.
about 3 hours has passed. So you've still got about 5 hours to kill before the council meeting.
Could we make it back to the living ship
Absolutely.
and
It's only
still
like
make it to Starhaven?
It's only like a 20-minute walk to the ship and maybe another 30, 40 up to the Starhaven. So walking time included, you'd have 3.5 hours roughly on the ship.
Okay, because actually, yeah, I would be interested in. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. Probably because I wasn't sure if I was going to sell the stuff or not. But I have some stuff in my backpack I want to drop off at the ship since we're going to try and keep the ship with us.
Okay. Anybody else got anything else they want to do before you all head back to the ship?
No.
Meh.
Okay. So you head back to the ship. As you near the docks, you do pass by the Mercane Agency and you see job postings on the front window. If you want to stop and read them real quick, say so. I'll open them up for you guys.
I do.
Okay. So on the map, I'm going to make this note readable. So over by the docks on the left side of the low city, a green dot will have just appeared on the Mercane Agency. Oh, no, wrong one. Sorry, don't look at that.
Well, it appeared, but I can't click on it.
It'll be this one. There you go. Try that one.
Still no clicky.
Try now.
Oh, there we go.
I had to make it public. Sorry. So this is the list of crews currently looking for work. You see that there's Treeborns. They're a group of 3 dwarvish druids who are looking for a ship to live and work on. There's some Hadazee crewmen. Those are the little monkey folk. 3 of them. They live in Bral. They're just looking for work. They don't have any experience, unfortunately. There's 2 GIF crewmen available. Short-term hires, but they specialize in combat. Sergeant Arnaldo, who is a career sergeant at arms looking for his next ship. He will stay with the ship until dismissed. Quartermaster B, who is an auto gnome that works for the Mercane Agency. So basically, you're purchasing the auto gnome from the Mercane Agency, and he will belong to you and the ship until dismissed or sold. There's some Thrykeen crewmen who are experienced, and there's no other information there except for the cost of them. So you'll see S1C and S3C, that's Spelljammer, and then their class level. Spelljammer first class is fresh out of the academy. Spelljammer third class is one of the higher marks you can get, one of the more experienced rankings you can get as a Spelljammer, through the academy at least. And then there's Commander Leah Holy, who's an experienced ship commander looking to captain a ship. And then under each one, you'll see the upfront cost to hire each, and then the monthly upkeep of maintaining them on your crew.
Okay, well, I mean, getting a crew for the ship sounds awesome, and they're not too god-awful expensive.
What kind of... Well, so you should consider that if we're leaving with the ship, we won't be back here.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing that concerns me is...
At the very bottom, you do see a note there that says, if interested, see front desk attendant to set up an interview.
Right.
I kind of
Okay.
like that quartermaster.
I was interested in the quartermaster also.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, we're certainly not going to have Willie do the cooking. We've all seen his culinary
Clearly.
accomplishments.
We'll have you know that I'm excellent.
Yeah, why don't we why don't we pick up at least the quartermaster B for sure, because you said it's automated, right?
Yeah, he's an auto gnome.
Yeah, so auto gnomes, no upkeep, just an upfront cost, and we're good. So That wouldn't be a bad thing. As far as the crews and the captains or commanders goes, those are living people that we'd have to pay monthly, and we, of course, are looking to leave these planes of existence. That might be a tough sell, but I think we'd be all right with an automated.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When we get back to the prime material plane, my wife would kill for that at the orphanage.
Hey, so yeah, why don't we at least stop in and inquire about the quartermaster B?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go to open the front door and it's unlocked. You walk in. I don't know if any of you went to the tryouts. I know Estra went. I don't remember. No, it was Estra and the old Dragonborn that went. So you walk in,
Uh-huh.
and behind the front counter, you see a Thrykeen. They are bug type people for Fitz and Yindris. And after a couple of seconds of standing there, inside your minds, you hear, "Welcome to the Marcane Agency. How can I help you?" And
Yeah, we
simultaneously, you hear the Thrykeen do its little chitters as it's talking.
we just recently acquired a living ship. We are essentially the only thing of a crew that we have. Um, we were thinking about inquiring about the crew notes for hire that you had out front, and more specifically, Quartermaster B.
Yes, B is quite available. He's in back, actually. He can leave with you right now if you've got the coin for him.
I do. I'll go ahead and pay that. Don't worry, guys. I got this one covered.
You're rich.
No,
No, no, no.
no. About 95% of what I walked into town with is now gone. So no, not even close.
How many crew members do I think that we would need to man the ship? Assuming that we'll assume that Holly's going to be the spelljammer because why wouldn't you just have her spell jamming? That's what's up. If you jamming spells, let's do it,
Mhm.
right? I can probably be like the sergeant guy, keep shit in order. Okay, how many crewmen do we need?
You know from your pirating experience that a ship of that size with that many mounted weapons on it needs 5 people to operate the ship functionally.
Is that counting the spelljammer or not?
That is counting the spelljammer.
Okay, so 4 in crew, so 3 more. And then I'll inquire with the Tri-King quartermaster. I'll be like, we head to parts unknown. We may never return here to this port. Eternity is the alternative. Who among the roster of possible crew members would go with us into the unknown?
If I had to make the recommendation for you, I'd say the Treeborns. The druid dwarven types. They just kind of rolled in about a week ago. They had a living ship. That was destroyed by some weird tentacly creature. I'm not quite sure of the specifics. Not quite my job. But their ship was unfortunately destroyed, and that was their home, along with most of their family on board. They're roamers. They are nomads. They live aboard the ship that they
We could
crew.
get them on discount.
The prices listed are the prices. There's
Uh,
no
how,
negotiation there, unfortunately.
how many of these treeborn are there?
There's 3. It's
So,
a father, his son, and his daughter-in-law.
so
And
it'd be 150 then, right?
Is that yeah? That's that. I guess that was the next question I had. Is that price per crew member, or is that for the whole crew?
Yeah, so the listed
It's right
price,
here. Each.
you'd
I hold up the payment each.
you'd have to pay
Yeah.
them 50 each to hire them on, and then 10 gold after that. After that, you might be able to work something out with them. The 50 gold each, that goes to us for posting the job, the notice for them. Um, the monthly rate is
Is their
worked
pay?
out with them, but that's what they expect.
Could we talk to them? Could you arrange a meeting?
I could definitely arrange a meeting. Do you want to meet them here? Do you want me to have them meet you at the ship? Which would you prefer?
I don't want
Uh,
them going to the ship without us.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be fine.
Oh, no way in hell am I letting them anywhere near Trevor without us there.
Of course.
He might freak.
They're living in the apartment or staying in the temporary billets here behind the Marcane Agency. I don't know if they'd be available at this moment, but I can send a runner if you have time now.
About how long do we have until the meeting
Yeah.
now?
I'm looking out the window.
Oh, you've still got 3 hours before you, a little less than 3 hours before you need to leave to get to Starhaven on time.
Yeah, I think we got time.
A little time.
Sure.
Great. And he disappears back into the back office real quick. When he comes back out, he comes with Quartermaster B and says, in your guys' minds, the runner went to see if the Treeborns are available. It should be back momentarily. I'll just share a quick picture of Quartermaster B for you guys. This is your guys' new Quartermaster. He quickly walks up to each of you and shakes each of your hands. And which of you do I address as Captain?
Guess that would be Miss Holly, as she's our spelljammer.
He steps in front of you and does a very professional seeming bow. Captain, happy to report to the ship. Quartermaster B at your service. Which ship shall I be quartermastering, madam?
Our ship.
I'm
I
not
point.
familiar. There's a whole dock out there, madam.
We'll
We
take it.
technically haven't named our ship yet.
Right.
We have. Well, actually, I think we need to discuss that with our ship. We have a living ship.
Ah, the only living ship in the dock, of course. Shall I report right away and begin inventory and inspection, madam? Sorry, Captain.
Should he or should we all go together first? I just look at everybody else.
I recommend going together because we are talking about Trevor here.
Yeah.
You
We'll
know
go
you know he can
together.
get touchy.
Yeah. We'll go together and then you can do your duties from there. We'll take you to the ship ourselves.
Quite, madam, quite. I shall await your word for departure. And he steps over to the front door and just stands there motionless, waiting. A few moments later, a really small plasmoid, like tiny in comparison to anything else, comes into the room and whispers to the Thrykeen and then disappears back into the back office. And then in your minds, you hear the Treeborns, more than happy to be interviewed at this moment. They just need a moment to arrive. If you'd like to wait in our meeting room in the back, you're more than welcome to, and I'll bring them to you as soon as they arrive.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds like a
And
plan.
the Thrykeen ushers you into the back room. There's a room with a small round, kind of like a council chamber almost. Big oval table, chairs on both sides of it. And you guys have a minute before they arrive. I don't know if there's anything you want to discuss or anything.
Well, I think the quartermaster's going to work out well, guys.
I think
Yeah.
he is fucking adorable.
He's
His
so cute.
his pot
I
belly and
agree.
everything.
I just my biggest concern will be Trevor, because I mean, if these Drycools and B are essentially going to be living on the ship, they're going to be living on with Trevor, and that's my biggest concern here.
Really introduce them with each other and then like get them acquainted. I don't think it should be a problem, rather than just having them appear out of nowhere.
That's what I'm hoping. Yes, for sure.
Should be fine as long as they don't do something incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
They should be fine once we introduce them. Trevor is really friendly and nice, so
He is. As long as he knows that they're friendly, I think he'll be okay.
yeah.
So you guys discuss things, and a little bit of time passes by, maybe 10, 15 minutes, and you hear a knock on the door. It opens up. It's the Thrykeen from the front desk, and it, because you can't determine gender, kind of opens the door and sidesteps, and you see three stout dwarves walk in. One with a very long gray beard, the second with more of a stubbly beard, maybe down to his clavicles, about here, clearly younger of the two. And the third with just little like wisps of hair coming off her jawline, clearly the female of the three. The elder of the three druids steps forward and does a short bow. Commander Treeborn at your service. Which may I address as Captain?
Me. Hello.
Captain, madam. Name's Baird Treeborn. How can we be of service?
We need you if it's possible. We would like to hire you for a living ship.
Aye, a living ship. Speaking to my heart, Captain. That is what we of the Druids in the Astral Sea live and work on. Our entire lives revolve around those trees. We would be more than honored to crew your ship for you.
When was the last time that you worked on one?
Alas, our last home was destroyed not but 2 weeks ago by some purple tentacled monster. Just ripped it in half and killed most of my family. We are all that survived.
So sorry to hear that.
Was this a dragonfly class?
9. This
Okay.
shell-looking ship with tentacles off the front of it. I don't know.
No. I mean the ship you were on.
No, a living ship. It's
Okay.
big, bulky. The dragonflies are smaller, more nimble. We were large enough for a full family of dwarves and equipment and supplies to last.
Forgive my naiveness. I'm not very good with boats, but ships. Excuse me. But we were recently on a dragonfly that had the same thing happened, and that's why I asked.
It's quite possible. I've lived in these seas my entire life, all 130 years of it. I've never seen this creature or even heard of it before.
So, well, do you have any issues
Wait. So
with?
did I get my jar yet?
Yes, you have the jar with the fluid. If you
Okay,
chose
so
to
I'll
put
be
the
like,
head in it, it's already.
yeah, no, I did. I would have if I got the jar. I didn't know if he was delivering with the supplies later. I'll be like, was this the creature that you saw? As I hold up the jar.
As you hold up the jar head, you just see pure hatred and anger come over the face of all three of the dwarfs simultaneously.
Oh.
And after 10 to 15 seconds of them struggling with their emotion, the elder of the three kind of calms down and is able to force the words, I. That be the creature right there.
Well, you should feel better. we killed it rather horrifically. I felt good about it at the time, and you can feel good about it now. Later, if you want to get it out, you can kick it some, and like we'll just put it back in the jar. It's good.
Oh my gosh.
He's very accommodating.
It does rest our
I just,
hearts.
I just look at Willie and kind of really
It
scaring our crew members like that already. Okay.
it does appease our souls that we know the beast that killed our family is gone. The scars are just fresh. But we would like to thank each and every one of you for getting the retribution for our family as you did.
Hey.
Of course, of course.
Well, what do you say, guys? Do you want them to be part of the crew? They're all right by me.
We still need to ask them about the prime material plane.
Yeah, that's where I was just about to ask about.
Details.
So there's a good chance we may never, as Willie put it so kindly earlier, we may never return to this port, and we may not even stay in this plane of existence. You guys have an issue with that?
The elder glances a look over each shoulder at both of his children, and there's no problem there with that. We are nomadic druids of the Treeborn clan. We live aboard the ship that we work for.
Well, they got my approval. Captain?
My approval.
Any objections, Fitz? You're
Sounds
just
good to me.
Nope.
No, I'm good with
Uh,
them.
okay. Next question is whose pocket is this coming out of?
And fork up some of the front payment, and then we can discuss monthly.
Monthly will be due at the end of each month. So
Yeah, we can discuss who pays that at that time.
Sounds good.
we're happy to be a part of the crew. We'll you want us to fetch our stuff now and come aboard, or how would you like us to
Yeah.
handle it?
Fetch your stuff quickly because we're going to leave here with our quartermaster you probably passed on your way in, and we'll all head to the ship and get acquainted.
We have not but one or two belongings each. We'll be back before you can blink. And
All
they
right.
disappear out of the meeting room. As soon as they leave the meeting room, the Thrykeen walks back in and hear telepathically. So, how did the interview go?
They're going to
well.
join our crew. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. I will write up the order slip for the hiring deposit. Just pay the 150 gold on your way out. I'll meet you up front.
All right.
Wayfake.
Yerndris, how much are you pitching in there?
I'll put in the whole 150.
Oh, okay.
I might pay my fair share.
I'll take that off your sheet for you there.
Who?
Good to go. Yeah. So on your way out the front, you
I'll
pay,
look at B and tell him time to go.
you pay the 150, and the Thrykeen hands you just a piece of parchment. It's basically just a receipt for the accommodation of advertisement services, and lets you know if you could give this to the dwarves, please. I'm sure they're gonna meet you at the ship and not come back here.
I have one question before we leave.
Of course.
Asking the receptionist, where can we get a tricorn hat for B? This is very important. With a large feather.
Oh, what?
The tricorn hat.
Oh, there's many merchants in town. I'm sure you could find one at the lesser or greater market. Unfortunately, they won't be open right now, but I'm sure there's at least one person who can make something like that for you.
We could probably check with the armor smith and see if he's got any clothing connections.
Yeah.
I'm
Or
sorry,
maybe he can just point us in the right direction.
I just have to see it before I die. I mean, it just,
Okay, I mean, honestly, he's a automagnome. Would a metal one be better? We could probably talk the armor smith into making him one out of metal.
While you guys are talking, the front door opens and the Treeborns all slip back into the shop
Okay,
space there.
we're all here. Let's head to the ship.
Let's go.
One more second here. All right. So back to the ship you go. As you walk up the gangplank to the ship, Trevor up top kind of lets out a Godric, new friends?
Trevor, yes, we have new friends. This is B, and I've motioned towards B. I said he's going to handle quartermaster stuff, inventory, cooking.
Yes, as quartermaster, I will handle all of those responsibilities for the ship, as well as retrieving any items that the ship may require per your request and budgetary.
Okay, well, B, be aware that, this is a living ship, and this is Trevor, the living entity of said living ship. So, be nice.
Quite good, sir. Captain, with your permission, I would like to retreat to the bowels of the ship, take inventory, and begin performing my duties. Will you require a meal tonight?
Do we have time for that? How long do we have before we have to go back to?
You got about 2 hours till you gotta leave.
Maybe have something prepared for when we get back.
Yeah.
Quite good, quite good. I beg your dismissal then, and he begins walking towards the staircase to the lower decks.
All right, and Trevor, this is, and I introduce the 3 druidic gnomes, dwarfs.
So the commander's name is Bairn Treeborn. Let me actually get these guys all on. If it'll do it. Hold on a second. Computers, am I right? It's not doing it. So Bairn Treeborn, Amber Treeborn. Yes, I used a Lord of the Rings name for Thorin Treeborn because I was running out of ideas.
always a good place.
And then Quartermaster B, and of course Trevor the Treant is up there as well. So that way you guys can see their names.
All right, so I will introduce. This is Amber, Thorin, and Bjorn. They will be the crew members that'll be running around taking care of things that you don't handle, Trevor, or whatever you need help with.
All 3 of them bow humbly to the Treant, and Bairn steps forward, puts a fist against his chest, and we pledge ourselves to you. We live and we die with you. And he bows again to Trevor. Trevor's kind of confused at what's going on, and just kind of stands there. Bairn then turns his attention to now Captain Holly, I guess. And, Captain, what duties would you have us perform, and where would you like us to set our things for our quarters?
You could go below deck and I guess make yourself comfortable where you can see any space that might be accommodating enough for you.
Aye, Captain. And our duties?
Your duties. Taking
Might,
care
might,
of the
might I?
ship.
Yeah, I was going to say, might I help with that, Miss Holly? Mainly help keep things organized. Trevor obviously is the ship, so Trevor can tell you what needs to be done. So he'll let you know what needs to be repaired. But mainly just keep things organized and keep things ship-shape condition.
Aye, sounds good. Uh, which of the three of us would you like to pilot the ship so we can begin our preparations?
Miss Holly is our spell jammer.
Oh,
So
my apologies, Captain. I assumed since you're the captain, you'd be monitoring and controlling the ship, not tied up with the piloting of it.
No, I'm commanding in that regard.
My apologies again. It's weird, interesting dynamic, just not quite what I'm used to. Well,
you guys
we'll
will be mainly our backup.
understood. Well, we are quite proficient with the weapons aboard the ship. We see you have a ballista up top there, but we'll begin preparations and take care of Trevor. And if any of you need anything, I commanded ships all my life. I'd be more than happy to give you any assistance and advice.
Thank you.
And all three of them bow and head below decks.
Okay. And one last thing that actually came up since we're sitting here and we have Trevor's attention. Trevor, we were asked what the name of our ship was. Should we just be calling you Trevor?
I'm Trevor. I don't know what you want to name the ship. And
Well,
you're kind of catching on that his dictionary is expanding. He's just still slow with the common tongue. Kind of like a
well,
baby learning to talk, but he's
yeah.
able to get out that he is Trevor.
Right. Well,
He doesn't care
most
what you
ships
name
have
the
a
ship.
name. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, you are technically part of the ship, and I don't want to just say, hey, this is the name of the ship, and you not be happy with it. Obviously, your name is
Yeah.
Trevor, but you're part of
Trevor
the ship. So.
Trevor trusts friend Godric.
Okay, well, I just look at Miss Holly and go, well, Captain, most captains name their boats, ships. I have no clue what to name a ship.
I don't know. Guys, what should we name our ship? Something
I have an idea.
okay.
And Ian just steps forward and just gets really sad. My late daughter got sadly tragically murdered by an elf. So I would like to name the ship after my daughter. Her name was Lyra.
Pretty name. I'm sorry. But
Well,
yeah.
how do you follow that? We have to name the ship that now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate you all.
Can you spell that for me?
Flaritis.
Is that Lyra? Is that how you're spelling it?
I guess.
I listed it as Lyra the ship. That way, when I'm going through my image search and all I see is the word, I know that it's the ship. So, all right. So you guys are on board. You got your crew sorted and figured out. They're doing their thing. Um, you'll notice at the top of the map there is a green link you guys can click. That is the ship's general inventory. So you can see that there's some ballista bolts in there. The crate of rations already got delivered. It was sitting up on the top deck when you guys arrived. B took that below deck with him. There's 10 lamps and 60 lamp oil on board.
Okay.
And you've got about an hour before you need to leave for the Star Haven. So is there anything else you guys wanted to do?
Can we get like the map of the ship?
Oh, did I not put it up? I'm sorry.
Actually, I clicked on the link on the Braille topside map, and it brought up.
So
the map.
topside Brawl, there is a clickable link that'll open. It links you directly to the ship map. But seeing as this is your ship now, I would click that little gray box at the top left corner of the ship map and drag it down to your hotbar, so you always have it because it is your ship now.
Okay.
There's a hot bar. What hot bar? What we call hot barring? Where's
So-
this hot bar?
Across the
Right
bottom,
bar
below
at
your
the bottom.
dice.
across the bottom of the screen, you'll see all those little brown boxes numbered 1 through 12.
Literally, those have never been there before ever in my life, and I will swear to that until I die.
I've been there the entire time, my man.
It's definitely been there the whole time.
I honestly, I every game I've played, I've used that hotbar to
Oh
put
my
maps
god,
on.
that's ridiculous.
But you can also put abilities down there.
Yep.
And if I remember correctly, if you hit Shift and Control, you can get a whole nother set of bars for down
And
there.
Alt and any combination of them. So there's actually 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hotbars.
That's so good. Okay, well that's useful. Never
Yeah.
noticed that.
Yeah, you can
But
hotbar your spells, your abilities, your maps, anything, items. You know, if you hotbar an item, it'll bring up the description of the item. So if it's something you have to look up all the time, you just put it there. That way you don't have to switch over to your inventory page or anything like that. So, but all right, anybody up to anything else in that last hour before you have to take off for the Star Haven?
Or Yendra's just sitting on the ground crying.
No.
Sounds like they're just gonna let you sit there and cry. Anybody?
No, I'll get close to him and just be like, it's okay. It's okay.
sorry,
Comforting.
my attention was pulled for a minute or two there. What's going on?
I'm
Who's crying?
comforting him.
Yindris
Yindris.
is sitting on the deck and sobbing.
For what?
Probably. Say for
Just
what?
comforting
Well,
him.
I don't know why you're crying, but sorry that you're crying, and we got things to do. So toughen up, Buttercup.
Yep.
You can do it. I've seen you get pissed. So
So funny.
You didn't really do well in the comforting people part of the clerical
Trying to
training, did you?
comfort him.
no, I learned how to stop bleeding. That was about it.
I think a little bit of that chaotic evil still lingering from when you were cursed. that was pretty rough, but
Yeah, I would expect that from Willie, but damn, okay. Okay, got rid.
Even I'm not that heartless.
I don't even know why they're crying. I just know we got to get to a meeting before we're late.
Godric,
Obviously,
give me an insight
obviously,
check.
Insight, gotcha.
Let's see if you can put 2 and 2 together. That and because
Well, that's
like
one of my
one of you
better
misrolled
skills.
tonight.
12.
Yeah, no. It might have something to do with some personal fact she mentioned recently, that would stick out because he hasn't really revealed much about himself to y'all yet, but who knows?
Okay, so I turn away for like a whole hopping 45 seconds so I can
No, you were
check
you were here, you were a part of the conversation.
That we named the boat after his daughter, who was brutally slain.
Oh
And
no! See, that's the part that I literally was looking away from. That's why you guys were naming the boat. As
You
soon as I said,
acknowledged it
as soon
after he said it, though.
after I said, Captain, it's probably your job to name the boat. That's when I went blank. Literally, that's when I went blank. Everything after that, I was like checking the stern of the boat. I was looking at the astro seas and the skies and thinking about the time in the meeting. And sorry.
I'm gonna make a clip of that on the stream and post it up with Godric's a dick.
Oh, that's
Alright.
funny.
Love that.
Alright, so the time passes and it's time for you guys to head up to Starhaven. Last call. Anybody doing anything before y'all leave in that
Yes.
last bit of time?
Oh, never mind.
Do we have a separate inventory for the ship?
Yes, it's at the top of the ship map. It's a link.
Okay.
When you hover it over, it'll say Living Ship Inventory, which I'll actually rename to Lyra Inventory.
Okay. The little green posty guy up there?
Yep.
Okay, can you make that public?
I cannot. What I can do...
Because I can't click it.
Yep, give me 1 second. Because it's a parcel, it's not a actual note.
Yeah. And when I click on the ballista note, by the way, it tells me I'm trying to... A module you are attempting to use is not loaded.
Gotcha. That might be you need to load the module, but it might also be something on my end.
Spelljammer module. I will check.
It might be the DM version though, not the... Alright, try to click that link.
Yeah, I have all my modules are open.
Okay, so yeah, I dragged the DM one then. That's just the information sheet for the ballista.
Okay.
Explained, it does 3d10 piercing damage. It takes 3 people to fire off a shot in 1 round though. So it would take 1 person 3 rounds to fire off 1 shot.
Gotcha. Okay, I am dropping some fish suits.
If you have multiple, just hit space a couple times after the item and then type however many it is.
Yeah, it's not letting me do that.
I'll figure out a better way to do it.
Yeah, for now they're there. They're out of my inventory. That's all I was hoping for.
How many was it?
4.
Okay. Anything else you're dropping over there?
No.
Alrighty. Anything else before we head up to Starhaven?
Nope.
I love it. Everybody check the group chat real quick.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love it. I love it. All right. So you guys head up to Starhaven, which is on the far side of the rock. You show your passes, get through all the gates, no issues there. When you get up to the front of the building, there are 2 guards, and they request that you wait here. Even as a guest of Bishop Foreman, you must wait until summoned by the council to enter. So you wait, and time passes. Eventually, Bishop Foreman comes out and, excuse me, and beckons you to come in. You enter the building. There's a long corridor in front of you, very ornate, high 20-foot vaulted ceiling, um, dwarven architectured pillars along the walls. As you're walking down the corridor, he informs you that council proceedings are quite formal. Don't speak unless spoken to. Um, you'll be given a chance to, tell of your venture and everything, and basically plead your case as to why you need access to the information you need. And we'll see what happens. And he stops in front of the large doors at the end of the corridor and asks if all of you are ready.
Read.
Yeah.
Look over my armor. Everything looks clean and shiny. So yeah, I think I'm good.
All right.
Maybe straighten my amulet on my belt a little bit.
All right. So you all, man, I gotta get better at running this program. Sir Fluffy Butt had to wait outside the building.
Bastards.
Yeah. So he walks all of you into the council chambers, beckons for you to stand in the center of the room, which I'll show you in just a second if it'll let me finish getting things set up, and then takes his seat amongst the council. As you look around the room,
I see a map with just people, nothing behind it. Oh, there it goes.
give it a second to load. As you look amongst the council members, you of course see Bishop Foreman sitting in his chair. Next to him, you see a dwarf, probably older, middle-aged, as far as you can tell. A lot of scarring on his face and hands. You see two astral elves next to the dwarf, sitting and writing in their books that they have in front of them. The next two creatures you're not familiar with. You haven't seen them before, but they vaguely resemble elves with almost a pukish green color to their skin. Next to them, you see two plasmoids, one tiny and one quite large. At the head of the table, directly in front of you, there is another astral elf. This one has more of a demeanor of a high elf than the cleric type astral elves you're used to seeing in the temple. There are two more astral elves to the left there. There's two gifts, two Thrykeens, but these ones are blue. They're not the standard kind of camouflage green and brown. These are more of a teal color. And then at the other end of the table, there are the two Hadizes. You stand in the center of the council chamber, and the astral elf at the head of the council begins speaking, and in a very noble, I'm better than you tone. The Council of Bral would first like to thank you for your service in saving our outpost from the Lunar Dragon. At this time, we would welcome you to enter for the record the events that brought you to us and the reasons for your request of this inaccessible information that we hold.
Our character, we lost Godric.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
This is your guys' chance to tell them what happened.
So
Here we-
are they asking like what we've done since we've been here, or like how we got here in the first place?
What we got here?
So as you guys ventured back into Brawl, I would assume that Godric and Holly would have informed you guys that they were sent by the city of Brawl to kill this lunar dragon as a means of gaining favor with the council to access portal magic, basically, and the reason why it is forbidden in the astral sea as a means of trying to get home with it. So at this point, really, you're just presenting your case to the council and seeing if your reasons for needing access to the information is valid enough and you've done enough for them to trust you with the information so you can try to return home.
Okay, so we did murder the lunar dragon as asked, and we provided proof with the egg that was provided a couple of hours ago.
Of course, our records do indicate that the service was performed and proof was presented. Scribes, make sure it's duly noted in this entry for the council notes, please.
Okay. I think that's more than enough proof that we can be trusted since we asked what was needed for us to do, and we accomplished that. So we are trustworthy.
That may be enough for us to trust you, but it's not enough for us to understand why we should grant you access to forbidden magic.
Because we need to get back home one way or another. And by magic, it will be one of the ways that we could possibly get back home.
So tell us your story. The council has only heard the vague words of Bishop Foreman. He cannot speak for you on all these matters, certainly. Tell it. Explain to us what happened, where you're from, what occurred, how you ended up here. We don't know. You just kind of appeared at one point, and now you're asking for something that's been forbidden for longer than any of us have been alive.
Well, if we don't know exactly how we got here, was through a portal. So that's all information that we basically have. We still don't know why exactly, but it was through a portal that we were brought here.
I know how I got here.
You that shiny one in the back, speak up so the whole council can hear you.
I got here. I'm originally from the prime material plane. I was engaged in a fight against a warlock who was trying to overrun my land by summoning undead and demons. And during my final smite of this cowardly little turd, he used some sort of red gem and opened a portal and sent me and him here. I don't know what happened to him, but I managed to run into these lovely folks. That's how I got here.
You see as you glance around the chamber that the council members are all hushedly whispering. The head of the council finally speaks up, and is this how all of you got here?
No.
No,
Well,
I was one of the city guard, as you may or may not know. I have just found their cause worthwhile, as you should. I pledged my sword. You should pledge your trust.
she glances down the council table to one of the gifts sitting there. Lord Commander, is he one of yours? The gift stands and speaks in a deep, bellowing voice. Yes, he's one of ours. He was found quite some time ago and has lived amongst us for many, many a year. He has served honorably as far as I know. He's never stood in front of my desk for being in trouble. The head of the council then speaks up again. Very well. Your case need not be heard. You may stand outside of the circle while we continue speaking to the rest, and motions for you to step back towards the door and wait. And you, blue one over there, sorry, I don't know your names. You said that's not what happened to you either. Do tell us your story.
I was farming with my wife and daughter. They were both having a wonderful time while I was planting crops and harvesting what little plants that I had. When I heard a commotion in my village, I went to go investigate, and it was an entire mass murder. My entire village was wiped out by a group of elves and orcs. They just came into my village and destroyed my home. I was so upset and so angry. I ran back to my cottage to find my wife and daughter brutally murdered. And I don't know what happened after that. I just ended up here.
Intriguing, intriguing indeed. And red-haired one, and you made of stone. How did you two arrive at our wondrous city?
Well, we were again just thrown in the portal, and we just ended up in the astral ship.
You say you were thrown into this portal. Did you create the portal yourselves, and you just can't
No,
do it now? Like what
no,
context? Yeah, context.
we
We
don't. We don't know. If we
we
had
were
more information, sorry, go
we
ahead.
we were actually in a castle. We were sent on a mission to vanquish an evil, I believe sorcerer. It's been so long.
Warlock.
Warlock. Um,
That's
we were making our way through the different levels of the tower. We managed three or four floors into it. We came across a room where apparently they had created a portal. We ended up being forced into the portal, and we ended up on a in the astral planes in front of a treant and astral being who helped us make it to Brill, and we've been trying to find our way home since.
I see. I see. Before the council deliberates upon your positions, is there anything else anybody would like to add to the notes?
we just want to get home, and we're trying to do everything that we possibly can to try to get home, which in this case it will require magic, maybe.
Understood. We will take your notes under advisement. If you would all please go wait out in the Great Hall while we deliberate, we will have a decision for you shortly. The bishop stands up and escorts all of you out to the Great Hall, and I think that went as well as it could. I must get back in for deliberations, of course, but please be patient, and hopefully we'll have an answer soon. And he goes back into the council chamber, and the door is shut. Some time passes. While that
Does
time
any
passes, if there's anything you guys want to discuss amongst yourselves.
does anybody even know why portal magic is outlawed?
Um, We actually never asked that question. I think we were more concerned with the fact that they do have it, and it is our only means that we're aware of to get home.
So I will step in and correct you, unfortunately. Don't mean to be rude, but I will correct you. You guys did ask
Okay.
that when you first met Bishop Foreman, and
Okay.
he stated nobody knows. That there's some type of information pertaining to portal magic in the most guarded records that the council holds, but nobody knows why. It has just been banned for longer than anybody was that's currently alive has been alive.
I mean, I would go out on a limb and wager that maybe portal magic brought some type of evil to this world at some point, and to help prevent it from happening again. But I mean, that's all hearsay, obviously. That's just my hypothesis.
As your discussion comes to a soft ending point, Bishop Foreman opens the door and beckons for all of you to step back into the council chamber. Willie, he does kind of put a hand on your back and push you up to the center back with the rest of the group. You stand in the center of the council chamber, and the lead astral elf is, we have deliberated upon your position and have agreed to allow you access to what information we have under the supervision of Bishop Foreman, of course. Won't let you run amok amongst our most guarded historical documents, of course. You may leave immediately and head for the citadel on the bottom of the rock. Bishop Foreman will escort you personally, allow you into the records room, show you which record you may access, and hopefully you will be able to find your way home. We do ask a word of secrecy amongst you. Any information you may find is, of course, forbidden to the general populace, as has been our way for longer than any of us can remember. We ask that the information you find remain that way to the populace, and if able, you leave and return home.
Thank you very much for that decision. We really appreciate it, and it will stay here within us. We will not disperse any information going forward or up to this point. And thank you for your time.
Our pleasure. Now, if you'll please excuse us, we have other council matters to attend to. And you exit the council chamber with the beckoning of Bishop Foreman. We are going to cut it here for tonight. There's not quite enough time to get into the next step there.
Are we going to a different room, or is the conversation going to continue there?
So you've stepped out of the council chamber. You're out in that hallway with Bishop Foreman, the five of you. Of course, Sir Fluffy Butt is immediately outside the building, so you guys will meet up with him as you leave the Star Haven. If there's anything you guys want to talk about or anything like that, we've still got 15 minutes. We're just not going to get to the next location tonight.
I was going to say, I mean, if we can at least have the next location and at least arrive there as we end, so we can just start the talking, picking up talking when we get there in the next week.
I'll give it to you next week.
Okay. I was just trying
can
to
we
get the
just go
traveling
back
out
to
of the
the
way
ship?
so we could get into
No, we'll start next week
more action
at
stuff quicker.
we'll start next week at the location.
Okay.
So
that's
if there's
That'll
any
work.
talking or anything you guys want to do while you're on the way, go ahead and knock that out now. Like I said, we've got 15 minutes still.
I will say that I am glad they decided to allow us to get to the information, and hopefully this will be our ticket home.
I gotta say, I'm honestly surprised they gave us access to the information.
Mm-hmm.
Well, part of, I mean, we obviously don't know what's caused them to outlaw the portal magic, but at the same time, I would wager, which is the same thing I was wagering way back when we first started this endeavor, we don't belong here. If we don't belong here, they may not want us here. As friendly as these people
Right.
have been, we don't belong here. I would assume they want us gone at some point before we end up wreaking havoc on their world.
Bishop
Yeah.
Foreman chimes up after that brief exchange. And, well, it's one of two things. It's not that they don't want you here. It's that you don't necessarily want to be here. You know, you made it very clear you're trying to go home. The real saving grace on the decision, because walking in they were not prepared to grant you the access, but the real granting decision is that while you were all standing there in the center, you were in a zone of truth, so they know that you were being honest in regards to where you came from and what your desires moving forward were, as well as when you spoke the promise to keep the information amongst yourselves and not share it among the populace.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing personal. It's not like we have something against this world. It's just that we just want to go home.
And they understood that entirely. There was a brief moment of discussion in regards to that nature, but the lovely city of Bral, although it's having its issues at the moment, who wouldn't want to spend some time here, of course? He kind of glances a side eye at Willie as he says.
Well, I mean, if it's a type of magical spell that could be learned, I mean, there's always the possibility Miss Holly could find a way to bring us back if we ever needed to. But as long as we got the way home, so we can, because I don't know what type of damage that evil we were sent to originally vanquish has done since we've been gone.
Yeah.
That warlock, who knows what he's been up to since the people sent to vanquish him didn't complete the job.
Yeah.
I do have to say, I would like to, at some point in time in the future, find out why that warlock I killed had that red gem and why it shipped me off here.
So I can kill you, little Fitz. Ha 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 ha.
It's like I can hear his annoying overacting in my head even now.
Nobody was able to see that episode because I was horrible and didn't record it properly, but Eric doubled as the warlock for Fitz's backstory episode a couple of weeks ago.
Mm.
So that was Eric being the warlock just now, not Willie.
It was truly some absolutely beautiful, ham-fisted overacting, the kind of villainry you haven't seen since Gargamel.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
All right, guys. Anybody got anything else?
No.
I don't.
No.
I'm rested. I got full inventory. I'm ready to go.
Yep.
All right. Well, with that, we will call it a night then. Thank you, anybody who came and watched the stream tonight. We love having you. Feel free to drop by in the chat in the future. We love a little interaction. Hopefully, I'll get some of those fun drops like what we have on the Wednesday and Sunday nights game where you can gift crits and fumbles to the players as the games go along from earning points. But Until next week, same bat time, same bat place, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Twitch. We will see you then. Bye.
Hey guys.